I'm going to be talking about the plasma membrane and then talking about diffusion, osmosis, and CO2 carbon dioxide diffusing. Here's my little diagram that I drew. Okay, so, sorry, this is hard to see. I need to get closer. Alrighty, so here are my phospholipid heads, and then these are my lipid tails, and the lipid tails are hydrophobic because they do not like the water. These are hydrophilic because they do like the water. And anyhow, the small particles can pass through the channel through the plasma membrane, and the bigger particles cannot make it through the smaller areas, but it can make it through the channels with active and passive transport. So like in this model, I have like the oxygen little dots here. They can go through really easily, but like whereas if I had like this big, it could not like go through this area. It would have to go through a channel of proteins. And then I have like my protein over here, and this is my carbohydrate. And then basically throughout this, like some cells can, some cells cannot enter throughout this. The cell membrane basically is the barrier for that. It decides what goes in, what goes out. And the way it decides that, sorry, I forgot a part, is by being selectively permeable. And now I'm going to talk about the diffusion and osmosis. Diffusion basically moves from a high concentration to a low concentration. And it occurs when molecules are either very small or lipid soluble and pass through the phospholipid bilayer of the cell membrane. And here you're just able to see like this is a higher concentration because they're all really close to each other, and then it basically goes out and moves like further apart from each other. And then here in osmosis, some examples of basically osmosis just transports water across the membrane. It limits the diffusion of solutes in the water, and it also has the same amount of particles on the inside as the outside. So here I'm showing like the inside and the outside. And then for this next part, for how I breathe, you can kind of see I should like turn it the other way. Person here, he's trying to breathe in some air. It's a horrible drawing. And so basically he breathes in oxygen, and then it goes through our lungs, and our lungs basically, the oxygen and carbon dioxide diffuse with each other. The lungs are giving the blood oxygen, and the blood is giving the lungs carbon dioxide. And so they just keep going back and forth, working together and balancing each other out, basically.